intact. But if you took out your pelvis, spine, and skull, you would no longer have the framework that supports your body. If you flapped as hard as you could, you might think that with enough effort, you could eventually levitate off the ground. But could this actually work? Well, to achieve flight, you need to flap your arms at over 100 times per second, nearly as fast as a hummingbird's wings. And even if you could do this, the air resistance and motion would rip your muscles apart in seconds. Now, if you added perfectly designed wings to your arms and flapped at impossible speeds, you might get off the ground briefly, but this is still pretty much impossible. Some lizards can bite your finger and latch on if you touch them. The pressure from its jaw clamps its sharp teeth into your skin. But many lizards have a natural reflex to lock their jaws when they bite. This can make it almost impossible for them to let go immediately, even if they want to. And this reflex can last for several minutes, leaving them hanging on your finger. Eventually, the lizard's muscles relax and it releases. So, when a sniper shoots, the wind, even when it's gentle, creates a tiny amount of air resistance on the bullet. And because of its size, just the smallest bit of resistance can push it slightly off course. Now, snipers are aiming for targets that are very far away, so this minor deviation becomes larger as the bullet travels the long distance, which can cause the shot to be missed. The phone was dropped into the open pit toilet. The woman's husband jumped in to get it, but the pit was full of toxic fumes, and as he breathed them in, he fell unconscious. Horrified, his mother went in to save him, but also collapsed. Then the woman and her father-in-law entered, but they both fainted from the poisonous gases. Two neighbors tried to help, but it was too late. They used ropes to pull all 6 people from the tank. The first 2 people had already died, and the others fell seriously ill. As you drag the scraper across your tongue, it peels away a thin, sticky layer of bacteria. But if you scrape too aggressively, it can strip away the protective layer on your tongue. This would leave you more sensitive to spicy foods. Scraping too hard could also cause tiny cuts on the surface, which could become infected by the bacteria living in your mouth. A woman was accidentally pushed onto the tracks. The subway train was speeding toward her. As the train approached, bystanders waved at the conductor to stop the train, but they didn't think it could stop in time. Finally, it came to a screeching halt, stopping just a few feet from the fallen woman. Passengers lifted her back into the platform and out of danger. If you traveled 55 light years away and looked back at the moon with a super powerful telescope, you would be able to see the moon landing in 1969. This is because light takes time to travel, and from that far away, the light reflecting off of the moon from 1969 would just then be reaching you. If you went even further, around 4,600 light years, and looked at the Earth, you would see the pyramids being built in Giza. And if you traveled 65 million light years away, all you would see is dinosaurs roaming the Earth. If your car catches fire, most people would try to unbuckle their seatbelt to escape, but the heat could damage the mechanism, causing it to jam and trapping you inside. Instead, you should keep a seatbelt cutter in your car. Slip the edge of your seatbelt into the tool, and use the blade to slice through diagonally. This will allow you to quickly escape the danger. The steel ball falls through a hole, races along the track, and flies back up over and over again. To an onlooker, it seems like it has an endless amount of energy. That goes against what we know about the laws of physics. We'd expect the ball to lose speed every time it looped, eventually coming to a stop. But what makes this machine work is the small electromagnet hidden inside. It gives the ball tiny boosts of energy, keeping it moving until the machine runs out of battery. He had previously undergone a surgery where one good heart is attached to a failing heart in order to help it recover. But one day, he was experiencing shortness of breath and was rushed to the emergency room. Doctors told the man that both hearts experienced heart attacks at the same time. Finally, the doctors used a machine to revive both hearts at the same time, and and the patient survived. Yet this is a compound fracture, and it happens when your bone breaks and pierces through the skin. To fix it, a doctor will cut open the skin and start to realign the bones. Once they are back in the correct position, rods and screws are inserted. This keeps them securely in place, stabilizing the structure so the bones remain aligned while they heal. They would pour hot oil on attackers to defend themselves when castles were being raided. The oil, heated in large cauldrons, was poured through spaces in the castle wall known as murder holes. As the scorching liquid rained down, it would burn attackers, causing chaos and slowing down any attempt to breach the gates or scale the walls. The intense heat also made surfaces slippery, making it harder for invaders to climb ladders. Your muscle fibers contract and lock in place about 12 hours after you die. This is because your body stops receiving oxygen, which stops your cells from controlling the flow of calcium. The calcium then floods your muscle fibers, which makes them stiff. To position your body for burial, a mortician might have to massage or stretch your limbs, but soon enzymes in the muscles break down the stiff fibers, and within 48 hours, the muscles relax and the stiffness fades. The body started snoring as it laid on the autopsy table. Now, he was previously found unconscious in his cell, and after being examined by 3 doctors, he was declared dead. He'd even been marked for the autopsy, with lines drawn on his body for the scalpel. They started to hear strange sounds, and doctors realized he was still alive. They rushed him to intensive care where he made a recovery.
Side, no.
What the f*** you?
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 Surprise, mother.
Are you following me now?
You better have a hell of a reason for being here.
I'm looking for my sister.
In a cargo box?
Yeah, I'm kind of working on a theory.
You forget you work for the f***ing cops? We love theories. Come on, spin me a story, asshole.
What I do on my time is my business, Sergeant.
Yeah, me too. And I'm on my time now. There's no...
Keine Lust, es zu riskieren.